This is what the average gunfight of Valorant looks like.
Going A. On my way. On my way.
Oh wow, you guys.
Peekaboo.
Omega lol.
Allah daddy LMFAO Omega lol. Ay, lol.
There's something incredibly satisfying about watching someone with great movement as they dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge through a hail of bullets en route to immaculate multi-kills. It almost looks like they are truly reenacting Neo's iconic scene from The Matrix, when in reality what is actually happening is almost even more impressive. As you probably know by now, Valorant's weapons function with hitscan, which means a shot either hits or misses a player the moment that it is fired. For a player to dodge, quote unquote, a shot, they need to move before it's actually fired in a sort of Jedi-esque precognition exercise of predicting the future. Now, obviously, most of the time people just miss, but some of the time a player is so deep in the rhythm of the game that it is essentially possible to anticipate what is about to happen just a few milliseconds before it actually happens and move out of the way of an incoming shot. If you're like me though, moving and shooting is a much less fluid process, full of poorly timed and poorly aimed whiffs. If you're also like me, then you probably are way better at this than when you first played the game. Movement in Valorant is hard, but it's also a skill that you can practice and get better at. So let's talk about how to do that. I first started really thinking about movement during gunfights when watching players like Asuna and Xander play the game. The concept of moving and shooting is a bit of a paradox in Valorant because you can't do both with accuracy. What you can do is layer them together in a sequence where shooting starts right as movement stops and vice versa, and with the right tempo, this can pretty closely resemble moving and shooting at the same time. This is where we're trying to get, and one of the best ways to do that is the following set of exercises. Hop into the range, don't worry, we're going to deathmatch in just a minute, and turn on the practice bots to warm up your mouse aim for a few seconds by just clicking bots without moving. Once you feel comfortable, come over here to the side of the room to give yourself some room to move around. Then start up against this wall, set your crosshair at head height for the bots, and strafe to the right until you line up with the first bot, tap your left counter strafe key, and shoot the bot. If you miss, reset to the wall and do it again until you get the timing down. A quick word about counter-strafing. There's been a ton of discussion about whether it matters in Valorant or not, but forget about all that because the truth is you should be counter-strafing not because it stops your momentum and makes you accurate faster, but you should be counter-strafing because it doesn't stop your momentum and keeps you moving during a gunfight. You really don't want to be hit in this game. It's really, really bad. So you have to keep moving by constantly changing directions in between your shots. Now, back to the drill. Once you have hit the first bot, strafe to the right again until you hit the second bot. Again, tap your counter strafe key and shoot the bot. Keep doing this one at a time until you have cleared every single bot on the right side of you. Now do the exact same thing, but going to the left. It's probably going to feel kind of awkward at first compared to going to the right because you just did that one like 30 times in a row. Again, go slowly and focus on timing the counter strafe, shot, and aiming micro adjustments together to hit each bot until you're back up against the wall where you started. You can repeat this process as many times as you want, but the next step in the drill is to integrate both movements together. Try to pick out your two targets before you start moving, one on the left and one on the right of you. Strafe towards one of them, counter strafe and shoot. Strafe towards the other, counter strafe and shoot. If you need to stop each time to accurately hit the bots at first, that is fine. However, as the rhythm and movement gets more comfortable, you want there to be little or no pause as you switch directions, and hopefully you're still hitting your shots. Go back and forth until you feel pretty comfortable, and then try to do it a bit faster or slower. If you get too fast and are constantly whiffing or your shots are going completely wild because you're literally just running and shooting, slow down and get back to the consistent tempo until you start hitting your shots again. Are you warmed up yet? It's time for deathmatch. But hold on there, bud. Sell that Vandal and buy yourself a Ghost because we're going to reenact one of those scenes from a war movie, except we're the bad guys and everyone else in the deathmatch is a goddamn main character. The thing about DMing with the Ghost when everyone else is using a rifle is that you can't kill anyone with a single shot, but everyone can kill you. This forces you to win with movement. And you'll also get to laugh at all of those people hilariously sitting there crouch spraying entire clips as you dance around in front of them. Kills and deaths mean absolutely nothing here because we're trying to just focus entirely on our movement in every gunfight with well-timed strafe and counter strafe shooting. I usually set a goal of like 5 or 10 kills with the Ghost before I'm allowed to upgrade to the Sheriff, kind of like, you know, the CS gun game. Then it's another 5 to 10 kills until I can upgrade again. And if I'm feeling super nerdy about my practice, I'll do a variety of weapons over several different death matches to get a feel for how to move and fight with each of them. By the time you get all the way up to the Phantom or the Vandal, you'll probably feel super locked in because you've had to be so clean and accurate with your movement to win fights against other people using the Phantom and Vandal when you have worse weapons. By comparison, the Vandal will feel super overpowered and easy to use. If you want to take things to the next level, you can actually just give everybody that you see in a deathmatch a couple shots head start before you fight back. And this means that you basically just have to survive for a while with just your movement before you're allowed to shoot back. Do this sequence every day before you play the game for a couple of weeks, and I guarantee that you will feel so much more confident when you take gunfights in your games. So, good luck.